Welcome to the Run Radio podcast. I'm Trina Wilcox, and my guest today, Katy Pattison. Welcome.
Hi, Trina. Thank you.
You've got an interesting job. And before we start talking about that and all that you do for this career path, I want to talk about kind of how you got there because you've had some interesting jobs in the past. And go ahead and tell us about why you chose this path and what it is.
Sure. So, I got an English degree from Drury University here in Springfield, and at the end of that English degree, I thought, what next? Like a lot of people with English degrees, probably. Um, so I thought about it for a little bit, and I had never thought until that moment that I might want to work in a library. So I was like, well, that combines lots of things I like. It combines books, it combines customer service. So let's see what that's about. So I did it a little backwards. Before I worked in a library, I went and got my master's in library science. And so my first library job was really in just like my last semester of getting that master's degree. And I just started out kind of wrapping the book, so putting on the book covers and the stickers and things like that. Moved up to working the front desk and did some work in teaching technology courses and in the children's department doing story time. So just a little bit of everything. Um, so I work for the Springfield-Greene County Library right now, and I worked for the Springfield-Greene County Library when I first started as well in the teen department at the Midtown Library. And that is right across from Central High School. So every day after school, we have an influx of many teenagers. So my job was
Yes.
to keep them busy and out of trouble by creating programs and different events and things like that. So that was, my job in the Springfield-Greene County Library, but I made my career initially at the Christian County Library. So a lot of those jobs I mentioned were in Ozark at the library there. And in Christian County, at that time, the library had not had a funding increase, a tax levy increase for longer than I had been alive.
Oh.
So they, in Christian County at that time, and maybe still at this time, is one of the fastest growing counties in Missouri. And so the library was struggling to keep up with the growth in population and serving that population from a single branch in Ozark with the funding that they had. And so the library wanted to pass a tax levy so that they could establish more branches in the county and better serve the population. And I was, I think, just teaching the technology and technology classes and working the front desk the first time that we tried while I worked there, which was 2009 and 2010. And there was a good plan and a good idea, but it failed. And I remember going to a board meeting after that, and one of the people from the campaign committee was speaking to the board and said, we have to do a better job of helping people understand what the library does. Everybody knows the library has books, but it's more than just books, and we really have to help the community understand the ways in which we are serving the community and the ways in which we can serve the community if we're able to grow. And a kind of light bulb went off in my head at that moment because I thought, oh, this is something that I always wanted to do when I was getting that English degree
Mm-hmm.
was communication, writing, and marketing. And so I went to my boss at that time and said, could I write a column in the newspaper about the library? She was like, sure, go for
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, so that was my initial foray into kind of library marketing. And then that director retired, a new director came in 2013, and together she and I worked to, we'd started to establish that getting the word out in the community through the newspaper column and doing more kinds of publicity than we were doing before. But we embarked on this campaign of community engagement, which meant getting outside of the library walls into the community, engaging with people and helping people understand what the library can do to help whatever it is they're doing. In my particular role at that time, I spent a lot of time in the business community. So I was out there in the Chamber of Commerce, attending local government meetings and things like that, representing the library there, and also hearing what was going on and what the community needed. Um, so uh, that campaign of community engagement, I think, is one of the major things that helped us to pass a tax levy. So the library did pass a tax levy in 2017, and you may know now that there are 4 library branches in that county where there was only one. Um, and so that was a moment for me where I realized how absolutely vital it is that that the public library in any community engage with the business community, the entrepreneurship community there, and B, that we are getting the word out about what the library offers to the business community, because there are actually many valuable and useful things that the library can offer to the business community. So that's why I came into this role. I managed the Schweitzer-Brentwood branch of the Springfield-Greene County Library, and I help coordinate business resources for the library. So that is my story.
That is really impressive. I remember growing up, the library was not a cool place to hang out for very
Right.
many people. And now our branches, we are really lucky to have such a nice library system. And I'm sure that kind of makes you feel good to know that people, like you said, kids are flooding to the library after
Sure.
school as a place to go. And you offer so many things, like you're saying, for entrepreneurs, business owners. There are so many resources that I don't think the community always knows about until they're needed. So, what are some of those things that a business person, entrepreneur can get from your resources that they might not even have a clue about?
Yes. Well, the thing that they already know about is books, right? You already know that you can
Mm.
get books. So if you're looking for the latest Brene Brown or Adam Grant book or something like that, you're going to find that at the library, and you're probably going to find it in multiple formats. You can check out a book, you can check out a digital book, you can check out an audiobook or a digital audiobook. So that's a great resource. But you already knew that. What you may not know the library offers is some really amazing online research databases that are, we have those on lots of different subjects. So whatever you're thinking about, if you're looking for information, I hope that you start to think library. Go there first because you can probably get it for free. And these resources that we offer online are information that are not freely available on the internet. I think a lot of people think, well, you can get everything on the internet now, so why would I take an extra step to go, through the library to get information like that? But that is actually not true. You can't get everything on the internet. And we, the library, pay for these databases so that our community can have access to them. So some great ones we have for business are Demographics Now. This one might be my favorite. This is the same tool that you could go on right now, Google, and find that and find out how much your company or you as an individual would pay to access that. And it's a lot, but you can get that information for free from the library. That's going to allow you to do extensive demographic research. You can get Experian Mosaic user profiles. If you're not familiar with those, it's these, say you want to know in a 5-mile radius around my business location, who lives there, how do they spend their money, what is their lifestyle like, do they have kids, what is their age, what is their household income and their home value. This is stuff you can find in that database, and they have these profiles of those people that make it really easy to understand. And particularly, I think useful in that one is, how do those people get information? So if you're thinking about okay, I know my demographic. I know my demographic is people in the, let's say, $80,000 to $150,000 income range. How are those people receiving information? How are they getting their marketing? Are they on social media? Do they listen to the radio? Do they watch television? These demographic profiles have that information, and that's
Wow.
something you can access for free with your library card. It's pretty amazing. Um, Another one we have is called Reference Solutions. It used to be called Reference USA. You may have heard of it before, but this one you can do consumer research and business research. So I've heard of folks who do sales, maybe doing a little research about before you walk in and do a cold call, doing a little research about who owns that business, what is their name, how much are they projected to have spent on marketing or insurance or something like that. So you can get a sense of like, is this going to be a good customer for me? What is their budget going to be like? So that's great information. And then on the consumer front, you can even make a mailing list. So the example I like to use is if I am starting a pet sitting business, I can go in there and look for folks who own pets in the Springfield metro area and who like to travel. So those are folks who might need pet sitting services, right? I can pull that list and I can download it and I can turn that into a mailer if I want to. So that's very cool.
Those are both valuable that I did not realize. Because if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people jump right in and think they have to go pay for these kinds of services right off the bat. And
Exactly.
just by logging into the library with your free card, you can get this information.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, it's a when you're an entrepreneur, every penny counts, right? You got to save money
Really?
in some places, and this is a place that you can save money by using these resources from the library, but having the same impact as you would as if you had paid for it yourself.
What are some of as entrepreneurs, we're overwhelmed with what we need to be doing, where we need to be looking. What are some of the best tips that you think we should be doing early or as soon as we realize we need to be doing it when it comes to research?
Yes, excellent. So, the best time to start that research is before you start your business, of course.
Right.
But it's never too late. But when you are, I guess when I am thinking like an entrepreneur, I'm thinking anytime I have a need for information, when I have a question pops in my head, I wonder, how many people in my target audience might live in this particular area. I wonder if this is going to be a good location to put a business. That those would be the times where I'd think, okay, time to do some research. Um, and then I hope people will also think time to check the library because we can provide that information that is not going to be freely available online. Also, learning something new. Sometimes we run into a place as entrepreneurs where it's like, I have got to learn how to use QuickBooks, or I've got to learn how to use this new software that we've gotten. The library also has access to Udemy. You might be familiar with Udemy, but
Yes.
it's online, on-demand video training courses on business business topics, technology topics, arts and creative topics. So that is a great way to kind of, if you start to have that need to learn something new, to hop in there and get the information you need on your own schedule. So.
Now, these online resources and everything, do we need to be at the library or can we do this from home?
Yeah, great question. Most library databases and all library business databases can be accessed from home or any
Okay.
internet connection with your library card. So you don't even have to make a stop at the library except to get the library card.
Okay. And so for people that, feel overwhelmed when they log in and they don't know where they're going, what do they need to start doing to start finding those resources?
Yes. Well, so of course, your first step is getting a library card. So you can stop by any library branch in Greene County. We have 10 branches, or you can also go online and apply for a library card if you want. They're just going to ask you to send some information. All you need to do that is an ID and proof of residency, and that may be on your ID if your ID has your current address. That's a super easy process, free to do for anybody who resides in Greene County. Once you have that card, these resources that I've been talking about today are all in this central place on our website. It's thelibrary.org/business. So you can go there, you'll find them all gathered there. There's also a little feed of any business workshops or events we have coming up there. And we have some great guides for starting a business and things like that we've put together that kind of match you with some different resources that would help you through that process.
Very good. You also have a lot of events and things like that that are open and free to the public or even online. Where can people go to make sure they don't miss anything like that?
Yeah, there's a few great ways to do that. If you can stand another email in your inbox, um, I know we all have to kind of pick and choose what we want there, but you can sign up to receive emails from the library, and you can sign up to receive targeted emails. So if you only want the emails that have to do with business, or you only want the emails that have to do with gardening, that's going to be a great way to just get that coming right to your inbox. You can sign up for all those at thelibrary.org. If you want to just check out what's happening, we have, just on the fly, you think what's happening at the library. We have a place on our website you can do that. It's thelibrary.org/programs. That'll show you every program for every age. You can also click on a particular branch. If you're like, I just want to go to the branch by my house, you can do that. Or we put out a quarterly publication called Bookends that lists all of our programs coming up for the quarter. And I think our new one will be coming out here in just a week or two, so very soon.
And finally, what can we as a community be doing to support and continue that our library stays fantastic?
Oh, yes. Well, on the business front, which, I love to talk about that. As you hear about these resources, if you, check them out, spread the word. It's such a valuable resource, and we're really trying to get the word out to the business community to let them know we're here for them and hear back, say, what else do we need here in the business community? If you'd like to support the library financially, that's always an option. We have a library foundation. They do some great events, and they help support some of our bigger capital projects. So some folks may have heard about a project we have coming up, which is a larger event space at our library center branch. I think that's going to be a great addition to our community. We have large events right now, and we'll hold them kind of in the open part of the library because we don't have a room large enough. But we're definitely, as we're thinking about funding and building that event space, thinking about how we can serve the business community in that event space. So if you'd like to help bring that to our community, the Library Foundation is a great place to donate if you're donating to charity. So that would be a great way to help out. And otherwise, just use the library and spread the word.
All right. And before we go ahead and we're so lucky to have the URL. Tell everybody what the web address is.
Yes, we have maybe the best library URL in the country, and is thelibrary.org. So you can visit our website there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Trina. Nice to see you.